Good morning, everybody. My name is Opeyemi Shosonya, and I want to appreciate you for joining us on this show, Trending Issues. With me this morning is Dr. Opeyemi Adeosun. How are you today? Good morning.
Very fine, thank you, Opeyemi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, with me in the studio is Mr. IK Obi. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah. This morning we'll be discussing the issue at hand. Of course, for some weeks now, we've been hearing NSAS. How did it all start? How did we find ourselves here, Dr. Bayem?
How did it all start? The brutality, the injustice on the part of the police and the policing system, those who are supposed to be the people you look up to give you justice, as what brought us here. And it all started when people have been complaining over the years. There have been a lot of complaints, promises by the government and the Nigerian police force, the leaders among them, that things will change, there will be reform. But I think what really prompted it was a video that came out early this month of a guy. I can't remember the state now, but I think a guy was shot by the SARS guys, and a guy was driving and was videoing. These are the guys that shot him. They shot him, SARS people. So he was following that Elos of the truck of the SARS guys, and that was how the whole thing went away. And the country was already at the brink of problem. We just celebrated 60th year birthday as a country, and people were angry from October 1. There has been planned by a set of progressives that there should be protest by October 1, October 2. That people are not enjoying their life. People are suffering and smiling. And I think they started the protest a little before this NSAS thing joined.
I think, from my own understanding, I think it's about all these promises from the government to make sure that this issue of police brutality, especially from that aspect of the police called the SARS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad, it has been going on for some time, and the government keep promising that they will put an end to such. But we now discovered that after some time, the promises are not being kept. That was why all this.
What do you think should have been done better so that things like this, a just cause would not have been hijacked by the hoodlums?
Okay, let me tell you something. For the NSAS protest, nothing could have done better. Then going forward, we have learned our lesson.
Good.
The fact that we even came out en masse to protest, to ask for justice, to ask for stop of police brutality, is a win on its own.
Yeah.
And I've always said, if you see my posters, I said there will definitely be collateral damage.
Sure.
There will be collateral damage, I'm sure. Anytime there is insurrection, if you don't expect. You don't expect protests to be, people should go to work normally. Okay, I'm going to work. Well, we are protesting, and we are not doing what occupying. We are not just. We are not. If we are occupying, you can stay at Unity Frontier and just stay there, not disrupt anything. Like the pullback against. In protest, there is no way you will not cause discomfort for others. And it's for them to also feel it and probably join or speak up that or be able to evaluate what you are asking, to be able to analyze your questions. What are these people asking? The next thing we need to start doing now is to start engaging ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a saying that if you strike a leader, every other person is scattered. But in this case now, there's no leader. So that means people are already scattered.
But the NSAS protesters had their reasons for not pinpointing somebody to be their leader.
But the reason is not tenable, because at the end of the protest, you still go back to the round table and dialogue.
But they felt they don't want anybody to be, to compromise.
So
when it comes to-
how do you monitor the impact of the protest? So if you within yourselves, the protesters, cannot trust yourself in terms of monitoring what is going on, then how do you trust the people that you want them to attend to the protest?
Then are you saying then the protest is not something to it's not worthwhile?
It is, but lack of leadership was a very big about trust.
So probably they should address that aspect.
Yes. Anytime something of this nature is coming up again, there must be some set leadership for the protest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ike. Now let us talk about the attitude of some of these protesters. I don't, you watched Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. You know, the video he made of recently was talking about he was with the protesters. They threw stone at him, they hurled insult at him, you know, all those things and all that. So, do you think we really need this? Know fully well that what the youth is protesting, you know, what their cry, you know, is something that's worth it. But this attitude on the other side, you can imagine a governor of a state.
Yes, we don't really need that kind of attitude, or we don't expect anything else. It's a protest. People have different ways of venting their anger. Yes, maybe that was what happened. He talked about pelting him with pure water, sachet, and stuff like that. It is expected. It may not be the norm, but it is expected. People can present their anger in different ways. Our emotional intelligence differs from people to people, so you should expect that. So it may not be an acceptable way of protesting. It happens.
Look, you know, people think differently. We are from different background. We have different ideology, and your ideology or whoever you become today is because of maybe what you have heard or what you have heard over the years, the books you've read, who is your mentor, who you listen to, who you know, your parents, your socio-cultural
model
background. So we don't expect people to behave the same way. In a place where you have like 5,000 people, you don't expect everyone to be coordinated. You know, you don't expect everyone to act normal. You know, among them there are people who are depressed. Among them there are people who are suicidal. Among them there are people who are even ready to say, let's spoil everything. We don't even want them. Let's spoil everything. You understand? So you expect different reactions from different people. But when you look at the overall thing, you know, the leaders need to sit down. That what were their actions or inaction that led to some of the misbehavior that some of the protesters or the hoodlum capitalized on.
So, thank you for that. Do you think all the demands made by the youth are worthwhile and that it will be met?
There are so many demands out of the demands.
Yeah.
The first one that came out of the NSAS was the 5 points about disbanding the SARS, compensation for victims, and justice for them, and the other one, welfare package for the police guys and whatnot. I think those demands can be met. And the first and the foremost demand has already been met by the government disbanding the SARS. Because out of all the demands, we have the short-term demand, we have the mid-term, and we have the long-term. So there are some that will take some time for the thing to be. Now the government even started this judicial panel of inquiry, which is in place now, and all the proceedings are made live, are made public. So that's another aspect of it. So this demand can be met, only that we need to give the government some time to meet all this.
Yes, I think the demands are worthwhile. The 5 for 5, the 7 for 7, and the 15 for 15. You know, most of them are tending towards, you know,
good governance
having this in our society, and good governance.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it will be implemented 100% by the current leaders we are.
Thank you so much, Mr. Haike. So now, your final word for the protesters, then the government.
For the protesters, in anything we do in life, let there be a purposeful leadership. The lack of leadership in this protest has cost the protest a lot. It has made it easy for others, maybe with political interests, hoodlums and everything, to hijack the protest. If they were to be a leader, they would know when to stop and dialogue. But because there is no leadership, nothing, everybody is doing their own the way they like. That's number one. And on the part of government, the government should try and make themselves trustworthy. Or let me use this English, trustable. The reason why we have this SARS protest is because of the fact that people find it difficult to trust the words coming from the government. So if from now onwards, government can make themselves trustable, then it's good.
My message to everyone is that we cannot relent at this stage. If not for our generation, for the next generation, we need to keep asking questions. It's long I've been saying it. And we should not expect that we will get it on platter of gold. You know, it's very hard that the oppressed are being released from the oppressors on platter of gold. It's very hard. Most times it's on petals of blood. There is no way there will be control. There is no way there will not be collateral damage. You know, but the extent to which we can manage or minimize the collateral damage is better for us. We should learn from the others. We should learn from Sudan, learn from other countries, you know, who eventually were engulfed in this act of injustice, and you know, thousands and millions died. And we have also faced civil war in the past. I don't think we want to go back to that. One thing I want to advise our youth and the generality of people to do is that when it comes to what we share on social media, you know, we should try as much as possible not to bring ethnicity into it. Let's see ourselves as human. You know, I don't see a leader breaking themselves up. Yeah, as a Hausa, Igbo, but when it comes to sharing money, when it comes to agreeing on their own allowances and salary.
Wow, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you around.
Thank you.
To share from your wealth of experience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's the end of the show. See you next time. Bye-bye.